Miami at North Carolina. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. I really like North Carolina and what I saw last week. That's why I think Vegas is tricking everyone, and I think they're about to clean up on this thing. I'm taking Miami plus 3.5 here.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you what, this is the same. I feel like this is the same song and dance we saw last week with Georgia, Kentucky. Kentucky kills Florida, right? Just absolutely murders them, they're still running. Ray Davis Sr. is still running down here, laps around the Episcopal Church down here. Okay. Georgia struggles with Auburn, right? Everybody's like, oh, it's upset time. It's upset time. I know damn well Vegas cleaned up on everybody betting on Kentucky. I know they cleaned up. I know damn well they did. It even had me as a Georgia fan wanting to take Kentucky to cover, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not getting fooled this week. And I didn't bet on that last week. I bet the under. I lost miserably on that as well. So that's neither here nor there. I'm taking Miami plus 3.5 because I think there's a whole lot of negative thoughts going on about Miami, but this team ain't about to quit after one loss. That's not how this works. And those guys on that sideline of Miami were definitely bought in. Whether there was 17 people in the stands or not, those guys on the sidelines were bought in. They were crying grown man crocodile tears after that game. Okay? A lot of emotion. They've got something to prove this week. Miami can move the ball whenever things are going well. I don't know what the hell that was last weekend, but that's college football. We say that all the time. We don't know what the hell that was. In this case right here, I'm taking Miami plus 3.5. I'm not buying into the hype on one and the lows on the other. And this is before I even get into the numbers, that's how I'm feeling. What's your thoughts, and take us into the numbers?
So to me, so in a way, like my gut tells me to go in the same direction as you, but knowing what I know and seeing the numbers that I've seen, I just can't. And honestly, my gut also tells me that UNC just their offense came to play last week, and they did put up a lot, and I think that they were kind of missing that. That offense, and Drake Maye wasn't really looking like the best quarterback in the country or the second best quarterback in the country. And now after this 1 week, everybody's like, yeah, he's the best in the country. I say everybody, some people would suggest that he's better than Caleb Williams and, things like that. And I'm not here to argue for or against Drake Maye, but what I can tell you is that this offense has come around. So, when I look at it, and you mentioned Vegas and maybe they're kind of telling people, to vote for UNC, or excuse me, to bet on UNC, and hoping that Miami ends up winning. But to me, I think that all that they've done is change the the number here, and moved it down to 3.5, because I think it would have been a little bit higher, but we saw Miami, do what they did to Texas A&M. So I don't know that Vegas is necessarily going to clean house on this one. I think that people still are pretty high on Miami, and to me, I looked at the Georgia Tech game and said, "Wow, first of all, terrible coaching. Secondly, they never should have been in that position in the first place against Georgia Tech. It shouldn't have come down to a final possession regardless." So to me, that tells me that they didn't plan for Georgia Tech, right? They planned for North Carolina. So to your defense, I think that Miami is going to come and play. But if you were to tell me that a team that got beat by Georgia Tech is, is only going to lose by 3 points or 4 points, I tell you you're crazy. But then you kind of look at it, and you kind of see what they were before that loss, and it's a pretty competitive team, and so with all that being said, I do like North Carolina in this game. I think that they are going to win at home and cover. I wish that this number would come down to a 3-point, them being a 3-point favorite, and that would make me feel a little bit more confident. But I think that they're going to be able to get it done. I don't know that Miami matches up with UNC very well. I know that they've got a couple of really good at least one potential first round cornerback and another NFL guy, first round safety, and then another NFL safety as well in the backfield. But I think that they're a little bit weak on the ends there at cornerback. And I think that Drake Maye is going to be able to exploit that. And then also over the middle. And now with Tez Walker coming in, UNC just added another weapon, and I think that they'll get him a little bit more involved this week. So I look to see Drake Maye kind of carve up this defense pretty well. And the UNC defense is not very good. They're gonna take their L's as well. I wouldn't call you crazy if you wanted to bet the over at 57. I think that'd be a pretty good play. But to me, I'm going to take the home field advantage here. I'm going to go with North Carolina to win and cover the 3.5. But I'm kind of holding out and waiting to see if this number drops to 3. If more people are kind of thinking like you, or kind of see how it goes later in the week.
Yeah, that was a miserable, just disgusting, horrible, irresponsible loss that we saw last week by Miami. It was wrong on several different levels, and you can go back and look at what happened and everything, and look at our videos from earlier in the week, and we kind of break that down. And I won't keep vamping on that, but horrible coaching decisions, and but I don't think it affects this team's demeanor quite yet. And I think they might be in what some people would call wounded animal mode. They've got one loss here. They don't want another ACC loss at North Carolina here. And North Carolina did look very good last week. They sure did. So it wouldn't surprise me a bit to see them pull this victory out. But I think I'm going to take Miami plus 3.5. Like, actually take it as a best bet later this week. We'll see where the number goes.